Welcome and thank you for joining Children's Specialized Hospitals Family Advisory Council's video series, Confessions of a Caregiver. Today I'm joined with our wonderful Family Advisory Council members, Suzanne and Elizabeth. And today's topic, we're going to be talking about acceptance of the journey. Our panelists will draw back on what they've learned raising their own child with special health care needs and how they learn tips along the way to help them to acceptance. So let's get started. We'll start with Suzanne. Please tell us a little bit about your journey and those tips that you found valuable along the way to acceptance.
Hi. So, when I think back to my journey with my child, when I first received his medical diagnosis, I was in complete shock. And I thought, how could this happen? Why did this happen to us? Haven't we been through enough? And after quickly snapping out of it, I went into mom mode and I thought, what is it that I could do? I I thought, well, let me talk to the medical team. Let me ask them a lot of questions, ask the doctors, ask the team, because these people are the experts and they're the ones who's going to tell you. I did my own research. I did Google a little bit, but I do not recommend that because that'll take you down another path. And the next thing I did was I was open to the process of it because, I mean, as you know, it's ever changing. And one doctor may have a different approach, a different opinion. And each day your child will do something different. And you have to just be open to that. And hold on to hope because that's what's going to keep you going through this whole ordeal. And keep positive, keep the faith.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, Suzanne. Those are wonderful tips. It is so true that in the beginning you feel shocked and you're not quite sure how to react, but you quickly gathered yourself and empowered yourself by saying, what is it that I can do to help my child and my family? And I do especially appreciate the caution sign for Googling because we know that Google can take you down a rabbit hole. But you relied on your care team and you asked a lot of questions to help you get to that place of acceptance. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Elizabeth, for joining us today. And I know that you're also raising a child with special health care needs. We're, really interested in hearing about your journey and how you got to that place of acceptance and what tips you have to share with us about that to help our audience along the way as well.
Sure. Um, Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Ramirez, and I have a child currently 9 years old. He was diagnosed with autism when he was just a little one, 4 years old. So, as a mom, at the beginning to accept this diagnosis, it was so hard. And I know for every family will be the same. It was so difficult. You didn't realize how that come through your family. You never thought that would happen to you. That happened to us. And even though I received this suddenly, I use some tips that I will recommend to all families that go through this journey to put in practice. One of the thing or tips that I will recommend that is very beneficial for the child and their family is to learn as much you can about the diagnosis your child has. It doesn't matter what type of diagnosis it is, but there is a ton of information that could help you to understand the diagnosis, the root cause, how to help the child to grow in this process and the family as well. It's very important to go to the reliable resources to get this information. Not everyone is capable to provide this type of information. And also to have the family involved in this process. It's not only the journey for mom, for daddy, and the child. It's for the entire family. So the entire family need to be educated in this diagnosis as your doctor, as the person that has the preparation to deal with this diagnosis, how you can help your child to grow during this journey and get the services that your child need. It can be OT, it can be a speech, it can be physical, whatever your child need to develop in this journey, it will be available for you. You just need to seek for and put in practice. I have learned a lot, and I can advise our family about this. But don't forget that it needs to be a teamwork with the entire family. It's the best recommendation, and to get as much information you can to help your child and your family as well.
Wonderful, wonderful tips that you shared with us today, Elizabeth. What resonates with me is that you looked for reliable sources for the information that you received. You created your care team, you found out what services were available to help your child, and then you incorporated your family into the support system as well. And then really surrounded your arms around your child to make them have the opportunities to become the best they can be. And along that journey, you found yourself accepting the diagnosis. Just wonderful tips for our families. And I'm like our panelists too. I'm a family just like them who raised a child with special needs. My daughter had a traumatic event at birth, which left her with severe cerebral palsy. And along my journey, just like both of our moms here, I did feel shock. I was sad, and I had to get over it and figure out how to help my child. And I did that through having a great support system through family and our care team. But I had to have a hard conversation with myself because I had to recognize that my child that I had hoped for was not the child that was born. And so I mourned that child that I hoped for, and I embraced the child in her place. And that helped me to move on. Um, and thank you to our audience for joining us today. We hope that our tips that we've learned along the way, raising our own children with special health care needs, will resonate with you and let you know that you're not alone on this journey. I'm your host, Linda, and I'm so thankful to be with Suzanne and Elizabeth today. Until next time, you're never alone on this journey.